Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel, Living Life with Letycia. So today we are going to get into our devotion for the day. Ye have plowed wickedness, ye have reaped iniquity. Ye have eaten the fruit of lies, because thou didst trust in thy way, in the multitude of thy mighty men. That's from Hosea 10 and 13. When we act with selfish intentions, we can be sure to get bad results. We might enjoy small gains and superficial victories for a short time, but they do not last. Sowing seeds of violence and deception will only yield pain and destruction. Wickedness cannot produce goodness. So let us always be mindful to sow seeds of grace and mercy. Our prayer today is, gracious Lord, forgive me for the ways in which I have acted out of selfish and pride. I have hurt others, damaged relationships, and caused ruin. I pray, Lord, that you would bring healing to right these wrongs and that your grace would fill me. Empower me to move forward in your love so that I sow the grace and mercy that produce healthy and nourishing fruit. In Jesus' name, amen. So today we are going to talk about a narcissist. What is a narcissist and what you can do if you have encountered a narcissist in your life. Now, in mine, I think I have a couple. And it's not a good look. I'm just reading it, but I wanted to share it. I read it. I thought it would be something that you guys would like to hear. So, I'm going to start with, what is a narcissist? And if you know somebody like it, or if you are like it, you're going to have to change. That's just all it is too, because it is a disorder. There's something definitely an issue. First, what is narcissistic personality disorder? A disorder in which a person has an inflated sense of self-importance. Narcissistic personality disorder is found more commonly in men, but it can be in women. The cause is unknown, but likely involves a combination of genetic and environmental factors. Symptoms include an excessive need for admiration, disregard for others' feelings, and inability to handle any criticism, and a sense of entitlement. The disorder needs to be diagnosed by a professional. Treatment involves talk and therapy. So this is a real issue, you guys. It is a illness. And, you know, the best thing that we can do is try to get the people in our lives that are narcissists, we got to get them some help. But however, we are those people that tend to be around the narcissist is like a codependent person. It's kind of like, you're abusing your own self. So this is through WebMD. And this is, and you can find, I've never thought about a person being a narcissist, but once I started reading about it, I'm thinking, I know some people just like that. And I never could, you never could put your finger on it to say, something's wrong there. But yeah, narcissism and the symptoms and signs. So we'll start here with just basics, because we're going to work ourselves into this every week, or at least we're going to talk about it often, because we need to find these people and we need to get them some help. And if you're the person, you need to get some help. So don't cut it off yet. Keep on listening to the end, because everybody needs to know this. This is kind of like a PSA. Okay. All right. So we start with, narcissism is extreme self-involvement to the degree that it makes a person ignore the needs of those around them. While everyone may show occasional narcissistic behavior, true narcissists frequently disregard others or their feelings. They also do not understand the effect that their behavior has on other people. It is important to note that narcissism is a trait, but it can also be a part of a larger personality disorder. Again, not every narcissist has a narcissistic personality disorder, as narcissism is a spectrum. People who are at the highest end of the spectrum are those that are classified as NPD, and that means narcissistic personality disorder. But others still with narcissistic traits may fall on the lower end of the narcissistic spectrum. The cause of narcissism isn't known, but it can be linked to your, number one, environment. Your parents may have given you either too much adoration or too much criticism that didn't match your actual experiences and achievements. Number two could be your issue. Narcissism may be linked to your inherited characteristics, including certain personality traits. And then number three, neurobiology. This is the connection between your brain, behavior, and your thinking. So people who show signs of narcissism can often be very charming and charismatic. They often don't show negative behavior right away, especially in relationships. People who show narcissism often like to surround themselves with people who feed their ego. They build relationships to reinforce their ideas about themselves, even if these relationships are superficial. The word narcissism is thrown around a lot, but what does it really mean? So let's dig in. There are two types of narcissism that narcissistic behavior can fall under. The two types can be common traits, but come from childhood experiences. The two types also dictate the different ways people will behave in relationships. So the first one is grandiose narcissism. People with this behavior were most likely treated as if they were superior or above others during childhood. These expectations can follow them as they become adults. They tend to brag and be elitist. Those in grandiose narcissism are aggressive, dominant, and exaggerate their importance. They are very self-confident and aren't sensitive. Then you have a vulnerable narcissism. This behavior is usually the result of childhood neglect or abuse. People with this behavior are much more sensitive. Narcissistic behavior helps to protect them against feeling inadequate. Even though they go between feeling inferior and superior to others, they feel offended or anxious when others don't treat them as if they're special. And then we have the signs of narcissism. Narcissism is still being studied and explored. Since many narcissists and people with narcissistic personality disorder don't seek treatment. But there are common traits of people with narcissistic behavior that you may be able to spot. So the first one is sense of entitlement. A common sign of people with narcissism is the belief that they are superior to others and deserve special treatment. They believe that others should be obedient to their wishes and that the rules don't apply to them. Do you know somebody like that? I do. Another common trait of narcissism is a manipulative or controlling behavior. A narcissist will at first try to please you and impress you, but eventually their own needs will always come first. When relating to other people, narcissists will try to keep people at a certain distance in order to maintain control. They may even exploit others to gain something for themselves. The most common signs of a narcissist is a constant need for praise and admiration. People with this behavior need to feel validation from others and often brag or exaggerate their accomplishments for recognition. They also like to feel appreciated to boost their ego. A lack of empathy is another sign of narcissism. This means that the narcissist is unwilling or unable to empathize with the needs, wants, or feelings of other people. This also makes it difficult for them to take responsibility for their own behavior. People with narcissistic behavior already see themselves as superior to others. So they may become rude or abusive when they don't receive the treatment they think they deserve. While they hold themselves superior, they may speak or act rudely toward those that they deem are inferior. Now, I started here. I didn't plan on starting here, but I'm starting here because we need to know that we're just not throwing the word out there. So we're not just throwing the word out there. It's true, and people out here in this world and that we live with and that we are related to that have these issues, and they need to be coming on out the closet. Come on out the closet. Everybody needs some help about something. So let's start with narcissists and let's try to get this under control. Because it may just be, I may be a narcissist. How do I know? I may be a narcissist to somebody. I don't know, but I hope I'm not. But if I am, I need to put these into play. Other signs include a sense of self-importance, exaggerating their achievements and talents, a preoccupation with fantasies of success, power, or brilliance, a belief that they're more special or unique than others and should only associate with high-status people, envy of others, or the belief that others are envious of them, insisting that they have the best of everything, and feeling they deserve privileges and special treatment. So let's see what Mr. Webb or Miss Webb, MD, says how to deal with a narcissist. With the right treatments, a narcissist can learn how to recognize their behavior. This can improve their lives and the lives of those around them. But narcissists often don't seek help because it doesn't fit the image they have of themselves. They may need encouragement to help to get professional help. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist, you may be able to change your dynamic in the relationship. It may be possible to change the way your partner looks at you to help lessen the effects of their narcissistic behavior. If you recognize narcissism in yourself, you can learn to have more self-compassion. This means treating yourself with kindness instead of comparing yourself to others. This can lower your needs for praise and recognition. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist, try these steps. Number 1 is what we're doing today, which is educating ourselves. Educate yourselves. Find out more about this disorder. It can help you understand the narcissist's strengths and weaknesses and learn how to handle them better. Knowing who they are may also allow you to accept the situation for what it is and have realistic expectations. Create boundaries. Be clear about your boundaries. It may upset or disappoint the narcissist, but that's okay. Remember, it's not your job to control that person's emotion, says Kimberly Perlin, a licensed clinical social worker in Townsend, Maryland. Speak up for yourself. When you need something, be clear and be concise. Watch your wording. Narcissists don't take constructive criticism well. Try to make comments in careful, positive ways. Stay calm. Try not to react if they try to pick a fight or gaslight you, making you doubt your own reality. If they lash out, think of them as a 3-year-old who feels rejected because their parents sets a bedtime. Living with a narcissist can lead to feelings of insecurity, confusion, and self-doubt. Make sure you have a core group of people in your life to support you. Bring in a counselor. Therapy won't cure your partner's narcissism, but it may help you work certain things out. A counselor can show you ways to approach problem solving with the narcissist. Certain things may trigger problems with the narcissist, It's best to try not to argue or confront. Try not to confront a narcissist directly. As difficult as it may be, constantly tiptoe around them. It can be better to manage their need to feel in charge. Direct them. Narcissists like to have control and often fear losing it. Efforts to lead or instruct them will often fail. So basically, we're saying don't expect them to. It's best not to expect them to. Expect them to see your point of view. Narcissists don't like to admit when they're wrong or that they're unlovable. So trying to make them see things your way could backfire. Narcissists have very little empathy, so honest, heartfelt communication often doesn't get through and can even create an angry outburst or shut down response. Go over past issues. Don't try to make them see a long line of behavior dating back years or how they're just like their father, for example, Perlin says. Instead, stay in the present when you express request or hurt feelings. People with narcissistic personality disorder usually don't change, so keep that in mind. Even if you learn to manage your relationship better, it probably won't ever be a healthy relationship. So, that's just the beginning. So we're going to work through this now. This is what it says. We're going to see. People with narcissistic personality disorder usually don't change, so keep that in mind. Even if you learn to manage your relationship better, it probably won't ever be a healthy relationship. That's sad, but I'm starting to know that it's true. So that is WebMD's take on what a narcissist person is and some of the things that we can do or we can use for ourselves, or if we're the person, we can try on ourselves. But if we have the people in our lives, we're going to have to try to figure out how to maneuver around a narcissistic person without making the non-narcissistic person insane. Medically reviewed by Jabin Begum, MD, on March 30th, 2023. And it was written by WebMD editorial contributors. And I am reading it on my show, Living Life with Letycia, because I think it's important to know that we have narcissistic people in our lives and we got to learn how to deal with them, although it may be difficult. And it may be hard, and they may not ever admit it, and we may never admit it either, or whatever. Whoever's got the issue may never admit it. But we're going to have to try to take these things head on, deal with this kind of person, and if they're this kind of person, how it's going to help you to be able to have a healthy relationship with someone. I want them to know that there is help. So, and even if it's me, I need to know that there's help, because I think it's always healthy to go and speak with someone that's going to be unbiased and maybe can listen to some of your issues that you're having in your life, that your family and your friends, you don't want to burden them with it all, because we need to know, again, who we live in on this earth with, and who is our neighbor, and who we consider our friend, family, or foe. So anyway, you guys be blessed and be a blessing. Deuces. Bye.